Alrighty, CAA fans, back again with another Insider Series. Griffin Della Penna here with you, and I'm actually with somebody who's been with the conference less than I am, somehow, some way, here with new Campbell head coach John Andrzejek. Coach, thanks for taking the time. I know it's been a crazy transition for you the last few weeks, so how are you starting your tenure here so far at Campbell?
Yeah, it's definitely been a sharp transition. Last Monday I was celebrating on the floor in San Antonio, winning the national title with the Florida Gators. And by Wednesday, I was doing my press conference up here. And by that weekend, I'm already moved up, got the U-Haul up here, and we're hitting the ground running, scheduling official visits and hiring staff and trying to get this Camel program going.
And we'll kind of get into your backstory and how you are starting this new chapter in your life. But going through the interview process when you're having such a successful year at Florida, the NCAA tournament is about to begin and you're starting the interview process for this job. How were you able to really differentiate those two things and continue to put your best foot forward with the Gators while also dealing with this?
Yeah. No, it was definitely challenging. I mean, it wasn't like neatly compartmentalized. It'd be nice to say, hey, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., I'm working for the Gators. From 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., I'm working for Campbell. That's not how it went. So it was a lot of plan and practice for Florida. Then I'm getting a recruiting call for Campbell. Then I get home. I try to hire some staff. I do some interviews. And then all of a sudden, I'm watching film, getting ready for Auburn or for Houston, whoever we're playing. It was constantly jumping back and forth.
And during your time throughout this, you win the SEC, you run the table, you go to the NCAA tournament and end up being national champions. Your role with the Gators was as a defensive coordinator. So it goes to show for a lot of your success late in those games, your defense came true. How can Campbell fans moving forward expect that sort of game plan defensively and even offensively with that Florida program now instilled with the Camels?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, defense is definitely going to be a part of our identity here. I mean, I think this is a blue collar, hardworking community of people that are really about the right stuff and have real substance to them. And I think our team should reflect that. We should have the same values. We should be a team that earns everything that they get, that practices hard and is competitive. So I think the fans can count on that. I mean, I'll say this during that Florida run defensively, we had a game or two where we maybe were not up to our standard on D, and that was like the UConn game. We weren't quite there. Even Norfolk, we weren't as good as we should have been. And I'll be honest, that was at the height of the madness for me as I was trying to get this job, as I was being announced with the job. I know the day that it hit the airwaves that they had picked me. I had something like 700 unanswered texts. I had 57 unanswered calls, and that was right as we were trying to get ready to play UConn. So I will admit now that we're at the end of it, we won the national title. I will admit I was a little distracted then.
What was it like for you to receive that support? You just mentioned 700 texts. I saw countless posts from very high ranking coaches in the industry and former players. And you've had all these sort of accolades during your time being on the 40 under 40 list too. So to receive that type of support for your first time as a head coach, what were some of those emotions for you?
Yeah, no, it was cool. It's just neat, to get that type of investment and support from people that I really care about, people that have been mentors to me, that have had a huge deal in me getting this opportunity and getting to this point. You don't become a Division I head coach all by yourself. You need some luck. You need some help. You need, more importantly than anything, people that care about you and are willing to mentor you. And for me, Coach Kyle Smith at Stanford, huge mentor in my life. I've been with him at Columbia, at San Francisco, Washington State. Great guy, really good basketball coach, and a guy who has adapted well to this modern era with transfer portal, with NIL. And then Todd Golden. Todd gave me a big opportunity to jump up from a strong Pac-12 high major program in Washington State to a program that could contend for a national championship. And we took that and ran with it and had great results. So I'm really indebted to those two guys. Those are two people that I care a lot about what they think. And, they were super, super excited for me.
And this has been years in the making for you to get to this point after being in
Yep.
upstate New York. We have that connection too, so I already like it right off the bat. But then going to Columbia, like you mentioned in 2012, was this always the sort of evolvement that you wanted in your career? What were your aspirations when you were a student manager back in 2012?
Yeah, I mean, you always have dreams. You always hope that someday you can get to this point. But really, you're just working day by day. You're trying to make every place that you work at as good as you can. I'm a big believer in grow where you're planted, and so I did that. Whether I was at Washington State or Dartmouth or Johns Hopkins, I dove all the way in and gave it my all. And I thought every place I was at was the best place going. And now I know really the best place is Campbell. So that's it's all sort of come full circle. But this is just the beginning. We got a lot of work to do. We got to assemble a really talented team. We got to build a staff of people that reflect our core values, which are that we want to have great attitudes, great work ethics, and take tremendous pride in being at Campbell. And everybody who touches the program needs to have those traits too.
It seemed like it used to be a prerequisite for a Division I head coach to formerly play at that level, but you've seen a trend over the last, I would say, 5 years where you don't have to. You could come from a position like yourself and be a Dobo and then an assistant coach and work your
Yeah.
way up. What are some of those skills that you learned from those positions that will now
Yeah.
help you as a head coach?
Yeah, I'm very proud of being a former manager and a former JV basketball player at Columbia. What one thing that I think has been great for me in my career and getting to this point is I've worn every hat that there is to wear in a program. I've done the laundry, I've done campus tours with different kids, I've run camps, but I've also been an offensive coordinator, I've been a defensive coordinator, I've been a recruiting coordinator. I've touched it all, and the reality is it all matters. Like all those different aspects that go into a successful Division I program need to be well maintained, and so I really see this position at Campbell as a bit of a CEO position where I need to hire really talented people and I need to give them my vision of what I want the program to look like, and then I got to give them some room to run and be great at what they're great at.
When you're looking at jobs across the country, and Campbell's one of them, throughout that process, what was going through your mind and some of the tools that this university has that now you can utilize and make them competitive in the CAA?
Yeah, yeah. I pursued this job heavily. I thought it would be a great fit for me and a great fit for the program that I want to run. And the biggest part of that is just the community. This is a place that really cares about their own, that has a strong alumni network, a proud tradition, and they're going to get behind their teams, and this is a small town. And I don't run from that. I'm excited about that. I think small towns are great places to build culture. They're great places to develop, to get in the gym. They're great places to build really tight knit teams. These are places where you're going to meet people and build relationships and friendships that are going to last a lifetime. You're going to build memories here that will last a lifetime. So I'm really proud of where we're at. I'm really proud of our alumni, and I think it's a huge part of the sales pitch for why to come to Campbell. I think the first thing that's going to stand out with us is our style of play. I mean, we are going to play like our Florida teams. We're going to play fast. We're going to be really good in transition. At Florida, we were the very best in the country in transition. We were third in the country in dunks. You're going to see a lot of dunks in our games. Hopefully, most of them by our team and not by the other team. But you're going to see us pushing the pace and playing a more modern, fun style of basketball. We're going to run ball screen motion, constantly be getting middle, playing out of the pick and roll, getting really good at attacking different types of ball screen coverages. And then we're going to play an aggressive, physical style of man-to-man defense. You're not going to see a lot of zones out there. You're going to see guys fighting to not get screened. You're going to see us boxing out, attacking the boards really hard. So again, just going back to the core values of this place, like we're going to be a blue collar, workman like type program.
Well, Coach, thank you for taking the time today. I know it's been very hectic for you as you build your staff and your roster. So it really means a lot as we get to know a little bit more about what will be happening for Campbell men's basketball moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me. We're so excited to be part of the CAA. This is a terrific conference with really talented players, proven coaches, a lot of fun, different locations, a good mix of, big cities, small towns, public schools, private schools. It's a really fun league for all the fans and all the potential recruits.